The BGSU Athletic Hall of Fame growing by 5 this year, including Dr. Gene Campbell, who was a swimming coach, among other things, here at BGSU. And accepting on her behalf tonight is Valerie Newell, who is, I'm sure, very honored to do that. She was a member of some of the teams that Coach Campbell had here at BGSU. In fact, this is an original T-shirt from the day, Campbell's Swimmin' Women. And good on the back. Valerie, I
original, a little stained, a little stretched out.
I am impressed. Talk about the honor of accepting for your coach tonight and the thought process that went into it for you to accept it.
Well, it's very emotional.
Yeah.
Mrs. Campbell, we always called her Mrs. Campbell because it was the 70s and you didn't call people coach if they were a woman. So,
or Jean.
Yeah, definitely not that. But Mrs. Campbell, and she just was so impactful to all of us. And when we were here and we were swimming for her, I mean, we knew she was amazing. But when you step back after a while and you can reflect on it, it's astounding what she did, what we accomplished, because she put together a team. She recruited a team without scholarship. She recruited a team, and she helped us win all these championships. I mean, her record, she's the winningest coach in BG history. And it took a long time to get her in the Hall of Fame, but she really, really deserved that honor. You know, she trained us scientifically. She was a disciple of Doc Councilman's. Now, Doc Councilman was a very, very famous coach out of Indiana, and he did a scientific regimen of how to train people using interval training. You've heard of that, and heartbeat training. And she trained us that way, and it was state of the art. Only the top coaches were doing it, and we have always said that was one of the reasons why we were so good. She just trained us right.
Well, she was using analytics before it was cool,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
She was ahead of the
exactly.
curve. And that is really kind of what we hear about every great coach, isn't it? That you look back on it now as one of the athletes and you're like, boy, coach was really ahead of things, wasn't she?
Absolutely. I mean, one time we were always fighting to try to get money because the university was a little behind at Title IX. And I went to the BG News one time and talked to the editor, and then I got kind of misquoted, and I got called to the president's office. I got called the next day in the office. They said, President Hollis Moore wants to see you in his office tomorrow. And I'm like, oh my God. So I called Mrs. Campbell and I said, oh my God, this is what's happening. She said, come to my office, we'll figure it out. And she helped me figure out how would I prepare, what should I focus on, and how should I act. And what an amazing coach. I mean, she was a life coach, a swim coach, a scientist, and she's one of a kind.
Talk about some of the bonds that I'm sure still hold to this day with some of the teammates that you swam with, and I'm sure some of the memories are coming out because of this ceremony, right?
Absolutely. I mean, some of my teammates are here. We were the first women All-Americans in the university history. And there's that bond that we have together. And plus, when you spend every day in a pool with people, with somebody, you get to be really close. And so that's really important. And then we have this intense love of Mrs. Campbell, and we understand the impact she had on us.
Well-deserved honor. And I do want to ask you, too, about Kerm Stroh. You served on the board of trustees with Kerm, and you and he grew to be very good friends as well. So it's a big night on another front for you,
and
isn't it?
I'm sad he's not going to be here, but, Kerm was a one in a million type of friend, and we served 9 years as trustees together, and he had such a big heart for the university. And, he did not go to school here. But he was so entwined in it. And, he cared not about winning. I mean, he liked to win. He was very competitive. But what Kerm cared about was the athletic experience of the students, that these student athletes, that they have the best experience, that they understand what they're here for, and that is to get a good education and also to participate in sports. And you know, the thing about Kerm, he put his money where his mouth was, and he served as a role model for so many people that have been so generous to the university, and he was so generous.
It's a big night. Valerie Newell will accept the induction for Dr. Jean Campbell tonight, and she also served on the board with Kerm Stroh. Valerie, it's great to see you here. Congratulations to your coach.
Thank you very much.